Assalamu alaikum everyone, Mustafa here.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Mariam here. So, this is our first episode in a while, and there's a lot of things that we do want to address. We didn't want to just come back and do an episode to talk about what we normally talk about. There's a lot going on in the world right now. There's a lot of grieving going on our end, and we just didn't want to put an episode just for the sake of putting an episode. There's a lot of things we want to address and share our opinion on. So, inshallah khair, wish us luck.
Um, Honestly, every week we want to post something. We want to post something related to our channel, and with everything that's going on in the world, it's very difficult for us to pretend what's happening is not happening in front of our eyes. It doesn't matter how small your channel is, how small your community is. What's happening today with our brothers and sisters in Palestine, it is something that we can no longer just sit and watch and just pretend it's not happening. As Muslims, as Somalian, it doesn't matter what's your background. When it comes to good versus evil, you have to speak about it. We've been involved, me, my wife, and our kids. We do our part to ensure we speak about what's happening. We go outside and protest with the people of Palestine, and we are doing what we can to ensure our voice are heard.
For sure.
What people need to understand is that this is not about religion. A lot of people will make you believe this is about Islam versus the Jew, Islam versus the Christian. This is not about religion. This is not about Arabs versus Jew, but this is Islam versus Jew or anything related to your culture or your background. This is about good and bad, evil and good.
And just being human.
And
it's
just
about
being human.
humanity. Honestly, wallahi, I think that's the most important thing is this is about humanity. You feel hurt when you see others hurt. That's it. Doesn't matter what your background is, like you mentioned.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And wallahi, I would say the last 2 weeks, all you see is how Palestinian people are unhumane, how the people in Gaza are not people, how the Arabs are a bunch of savages.
That's all you see on the news.
That's all you see. And wallahi, guys like Muhammad Hijab, the guys like the brother from Smile to Jannah, guys from the UK, a lot of Muslims from the UK, they are united. They are united. It does not matter how big or small is your channel, how big or small your community or your following.
Sure.
You need to voice what's happening. It's against humanity. I can no longer sit and pretend that what's happening is not affecting me. It's affecting me to the core. I look at my little two boys, 3 years old and 5 years old, and I know, when they fight about, I don't want to watch YouTube, but I want to be on Netflix, that they don't know what's happening outside the world, outside our four walls. That's why when we went to downtown Ottawa and protest for the genocide, I wanted my kids to witness what's happening. I don't want my kids to be blind to what's happening. I want them to see what's happening. This is no longer a movie. This is no longer about a cartoon. This is a reality. The kids in Gaza don't have a life.
They don't have a choice.
They'll have no choice. And the people that are saying, but why are you saying that? They cannot leave.
Yeah.
They cannot leave. They cannot leave because it's an open air prison. You're going to hear this term open air prison a lot in the media. It's because it's a fact. You turn right, you get bombed. You turn left, you get bombed. You go up and down, you get bombed.
There's no safety.
There's no safety. So what's happening, is that they're trying to make us believe the people of Palestine, they are just not human beings.
They deserve this, pretty much.
And you supporting the people of Palestine does not make you a terrorist. It does not matter how they built this image and how the media will portray you. It does not matter. You have to be firm and believe that what you're doing is for the good cause. I don't care how people feel. Personally, I've seen a lot of Jewish people supporting the Free Palestine movement, and wallah is not about religion; it's about good and evil. If whatever you see on the internet, you see this is evil, it's because it is evil.
We've been taught from a young age to distinguish good and bad. So when you're seeing it, your gut, like even as a human being, you're going to feel like this is wrong. Doesn't matter what you hear on the news or how you try to portray this. Wrong is wrong and right is right. So at the end of the day, like you mentioned, when we come to how we're living our lives, there's a lot of survivor's guilt that goes with it. Like we feel bad for everything we have, knowing that there's other people in the world that don't have it. And you have to speak on that. If you decide not to post, and I get it, like I have an Instagram and I have been posting since this whole thing started. Wallahi, I have been posting. I got shadow banned. I don't have a lot of people viewing my stories, but that's not going to stop me from posting because as soon as I see it and my heart aches, I just want to spread it to be like, this is what's really going on. Palestine doesn't have a voice. We are their voice. We are the ones who are showing the world what's going on that side because the media is just covering everything else going on and how they deserve this and how they brought this on themselves and how it's a retaliation. I don't know how long a retaliation goes on for, but it's definitely not for 2 weeks. It's not. That's madness. But just to say, that little share you're doing or that little moment you're choosing to comment on someone's post or just your voice matters. Wallahi, it matters. It's going to change other people's perspective. It's going to make them see things that they haven't thought about. The silence means you're choosing a side. You being silent means you're choosing a side. Doesn't matter how you spin it.
I was born in 1980s. I did not witness World War One or the second one or any type of genocide when the U.S. bombed Japan, the first nuclear war that happened in history. I didn't witness this. I did not witness when the Jewish Holocaust happened. I did not witness this. All these evil atrocities happen in the world. We did not witness. We did not witness all the genocide that happened in Rwanda. We did not witness a lot of the stuff that happened in the world. But today, we are witnessing exactly what's happening in Palestine. These type of genocides and atrocities used to be hidden. You know, you should have to go to a black site or some dark website in order to see this is in front of you. Everywhere you turn, YouTube, social media, Instagram, Twitter,
TikTok.
TikTok,
It's everywhere.
you see it everywhere. Whether you see it from the view from the Israeli view or you see it from the Palestinian view, you still see it. It does not matter how the twist the pictures or the videos, you still see it. What's happening to the Palestinian brothers and sisters is unacceptable. We can no longer sit there and wait until something happens. You cannot just say, inshallah, it's going to get better. Because, yes, inshallah, it's going to get better. Allah knows best. But what's happening right now, we need to voice it and we need to make sure that the leaders in our country, like Trudeau and other people that are just following the media and the propaganda that the Israeli are only doing this because they're protecting themselves, we should voice those things. Okay? Personally, I can no longer just sit there and watch. That's one of the reasons why today we decided to voice our opinion on this matter. Alhamdulillah, we have guys like Muhammad Hijab, Smile to Jannah, and all these guys that are confronting people like Piers Morgan, Ben Shapiro, and all these people that are pretending that this is acceptable behavior. This is not acceptable behavior. It does not matter how you view the situation. It is pure evil. Pure evil. If you're bombing hospital on purpose, pure evil. If you're killing babies on purpose, is pure evil. What do I think about what the other side are doing? I do not believe that innocent civilians should be targeted. I do not care how two parties that have weapons defend each other. Do whatever you need to do. But once our civilians are involved, whether it's from the side of Palestine or whether it's the side of the Israel, we're against all type of genocide. But what we're doing today is what's happening with the side with the Palestinian brothers and sisters is totally completely unfair.
It's wrong.
It's completely wrong. And us sitting there, all the people, influencers that use the Muslim community to get famous, and now they're no longer talking about what's happening. To me, it's a bunch of scared people because they don't want to hurt the bottom line, which is the money at the end of the day.
Yeah, they don't want to cut their means. And at the end of the day, and you're probably sitting there wondering, like, how can I help? Like, it's not to say we don't feel useless. We can't do anything. There's nothing we can do to change the situation. But again, spreading the word, using your platform, no matter how small it is, to share the stories, share what's going on, share it on your post, do a post about it, Facebook, Instagram. Like we all have these now, right? Like even if you have 2 followers, share it. The other thing you can do is boycott a lot of these companies. If you go and Google like what companies to boycott, like for this purpose, it will give you a whole list of things. So do your part, no matter how small you might think it is. Wallahi, do your part. And watching these things, no, like it's gruesome. It's heartening. Like I have literally been crying every single day since it's happened. My kids will ask me what's going on. I'm not going to protect them for it. I'm not going to show them the videos because they're still young, but I will talk to them about it and I will tell them what's going on and I will show them how thankful they should be for their blessings and all these things. It changes, it ups our iman because we seeing these things and we realize everything we have, and you have again survivor's guilt because you're like, okay, why am I deserving of this and why aren't they? But Allah's plan is always the best of plans. We can't question that, but we can do our part. Wallahi, do your part, small or big, do your part. Go to the protest, boycott these companies. There actually are affected by the boycotts because we were watching that yesterday. It's affecting them.
So whatever, it doesn't matter how small it is, because you think it is small, but it's not small in the eye of corporate world. If I'm not even going to mention, but there's a lot of companies that are supporting what's happening to Palestinians. Okay, you can do your own research, and you'll find out the small things that you're used to, whether it's drinking, eating, promoting. If you stop using it, it's gonna impact them.
And you're gonna feel better about it.
And you will feel better about it.
You feel like you're doing something.
Personally, what's happening did increase my iman into researching. One, what's your responsible, if you're a mother and a father, your responsibility is to educate yourself and educate your kids. You cannot just sit there and think what's happening is normal, or what's happening is just something that is,
that's been going on
that's
for years.
Been going on for the last couple of weeks. This has been going on since 1940s, okay, 1970s, 80s. If you want to learn more about the conflict between Palestine and Israel, all you have to do is just do your research. There's a lot of videos out there, and the videos, a lot of them are not Muslims. It's not Muslim people that are producing those videos. A lot of them are either Jews, Christian, or non-believers. They'll give you the honest opinion of what's happening from their point of view. And you do also have other parties that are more pro-Israel, so they'll give you the biased point of view. At the end of the day, what you need to do is educate yourself. The other thing is, we all know right now we cannot provide help to Palestinians. We cannot send aids or food or anything like that. So if you encounter any organization that are saying they'll help Palestinians, fund them. I'll be honest with you, do your research. Do your research. If it's not coming from your community, your mosque, or the sheikh is the one taking the initiative to do this, I would say do your research. Because the money, we don't know where it's going. I'm talking about if it's a third-party fundraiser.
Yeah.
But if it's your community, straight from your mosque, your masjid, and your teachers and whatnot, then I would say you can support that. But in outside third party, do your research. Just do not give your money blindly because we don't know where this money going. The other thing is that like she stated, wallahi, they can plan whatever they want. They can plan, I'm someone who watches a lot of conspiracy stuff. I I'm a firm believer this was done on purpose. Israeli knew it was going to happen, and they used this moment to completely wipe the people from Gaza. I'm a firm believer. Um, got like I said, do your research. Israeli have one of the most powerful military. There's no way they did not know this is going to happen. Okay, Alhamdulillah, we have a lot of people that are raising those awareness and suspicion, and now if you, I don't know if you know this, but the balance where Israel was the higher and the Palestinian people, now it's starting to be, people are starting to notice what's happening is not normal.
Because guys, truth will always prevail. Exactly. And this is the thing. No matter how you spin it, Allah will find a way to shed light on the truth. Doesn't matter. So
Surah chapter 8, verse 30, exactly what she said. Israel can plan whatever they want. Exactly what happened to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So people were planning to kill him. People were planning to kidnap him. People were planning to evict him. Same way that's happening to our brothers and sisters in Palestine. But what people do not know is that you can plan whatever you want. Allah is the best of planners. Okay? By watching, back of my head, I'm like, Allah is going to make things better for them. But what you need to understand is that the people of Palestine have bigger smile than us.
Their iman
is way stronger than us. Why? Because they know what's happening to them not only is unfair, is unjust, but in the eye of Allah, they're going straight to Jannah. Okay? So, me as a parent, when I see a child cry, wallahi, it affects me like there's no tomorrow. So today we decided to voice this and ensure that everybody that has a YouTube channel or a Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, your responsibility is to voice this. Doesn't matter how big or small. If it hits one person, it's one person that was not aware of the situation.
And the other thing, guys, dua. Dua is so powerful. Like, dua is one of the biggest things that you can do, right? Like, while you're praying, like my prayers, like I feel like, yeah, you pray daily, but I feel like that's what we're talking about. By your iman is risen. By seeing all this happening, and then the people still have a smile on their face, the kids still playing, like just being kids, right? So dua, wallahi, dua. If that's the only thing you can do, that's the best thing you can do.
The last thing I'm going to end with is, all the divisions among other Muslims and someone has an opinion about what's happened. This is not the time for us to be divided. This is the time for us to be united. This is a time for us to have one voice. The voice of, we know what Trudeau wants. He wants to support Israel. So by doing that, we should not invite Trudeau in our mosques.
So Trudeau is the prime minister.
Yeah, Trudeau is our prime minister in Canada. Okay, yeah. He's pretty much the one that runs Canada, and he voiced his bias and he's with Israel. That's fine, but as a Muslim, we should not allow him to come and pretend he's supporting the Muslims. Last week he was in one of the biggest mosques in Toronto in IMO, and he was there. God knows why. The Muslim leadership in IMO should not allow these type of things. I'm not saying we need to, create violence. I'm against violence, but there's a lot of brothers and sisters out there that were protesting Trudeau, and they kept protesting Trudeau even though he was at the mosque. And alhamdulillah, we want to stay as united as possible,
while still being respectful and still doing everything that our deen asks of us. Like, we can show we have one stance, and the stance is ceasefire. That's the only goal we have.
And if you're a human being, wallahi, you will say this: we are all human beings in front of Allah. It does not matter if you're Arab or non-Arab, if you're Jew or non-Jew, if you're rich or poor. In front of Allah, we're all the same people. So that being said, please spread the word, do whatever you can, make dua, and before you start helping money wise, do your research.
On the company that's asking you for the funds. And it's okay. It's okay because your intention is right. It's okay for you to want to give money right away, but do your part. Wallahi, do your part. That's it. Big or small, guys, do your part. May Allah help us. May Allah help the Palestinian people in ending this and just finding justice. I mean,
I mean it up. All right, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.